If you have recently started a business and you've been thinking, I want to run ads in order to move my sales along, then you need to watch this first. Last year, I launched paid ads and I was super proud of myself for breaking even. That is, until I realized that once I factored in the software, I was actually losing money. Looking back, I did it all out of order. There are certain things that you need to have in place before you launch your first paid ad. We're going to talk about those things today. But first, if you're new here, hey there, I'm Heather. Around here, I keep business simple, real, and built to fit into your actual life. If that feels good, if that resonates, stick around and subscribe. So let's get into this. Honestly, I want you to think about this like a pre ad checklist. If any of these are missing, you're not ready to start running ads yet. Plus, I have one bonus that can take your sales even further, so don't click away, stick around. All right, let's get into the very first one. The first one is called the order bump. When you're paying for cold traffic, that's people who aren't familiar with you. Your margin has to cover your ad spend. I don't want to give you any random numbers here. I'm going to give you my actual costs. By workbook, I sell it for $47. I now have in place an order bump that costs $7. When I was running ads, I only had the $47 offer, which meant I had to acquire one sale for $47. When you're running ads, that's not always possible. It's costing you a few dollars a click sometimes, and those clicks don't actually convert to purchases all the time. So we're going to say a conservative 30% of the people take the $7 order bump. That's roughly one out of every three buyers. That means you're earning an extra $7 for every third person that purchases your workbook. It's a small dollar amount, but when you're running ads, every single dollar helps you get to break even or to being in the green. Now, order bumps are generally something that's pretty low ticket. If you're running an ad straight to a product, it's generally a low ticket anyways. But the bump needs to be even lower in price than the product that they're purchasing and needs to basically be a no-brainer. Often people will tell you $10 and under is the biggest. Like if you have a product that's under 50 or $100, then your bump needs to be under 10. If your product is going up a little bit higher than that, your bump can be a little bit higher. But it absolutely needs to be one of those things. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just buying. Okay? That makes it convert more often and allows you to get those dollars to help increase your margins so that way you are not losing money when you're running an ad. Second, the one-time offer. You often see people put this as OTO. I didn't have one of these when I went live. When I started my ads, I'm going to say probably the beginning of November, maybe even October, I did not have one of these. My one-time offer, I ended up pricing at $197 and put in place probably about mid-December. Even if you have a 7% conversion rate, that's less than one out of every 10 buyers. That's roughly about $197 for every 50 buyers. I'm going to put all these numbers out for you after, but first, I just want to go through this and then show you what this all looks like. Think about what that extra $197 for 50 people means. You have 4 sales for $47, and that turns into $188. You add on your one-time offer for $197, and that makes a huge difference. You more than doubled what you were making for the same number of clicks and the same dollar amount of ad spend. So before you run a single ad, you need to make sure you have your order bump and your one-time offer live and completely built out and tested. Those two things can change what is possible. And really, that is the biggest part of what I was missing in the very beginning. If I had a one-time offer and an order bump from the very beginning of when I went live with ads, I probably would not have been losing money and I could have been making more money. And when you make more money, it allows you to be able to spend more on ads. And that in turn allows you to make even more. Once you start making sales, the algorithms know who your customer is more, and you also know what ads are working more, and you have the chance to actually increase the conversion rates and improve the conversion rates. All right, this next one is something that I've heard people say, and yet I actually just started putting this in place. The third one is the follow-up sequence. Once someone bought, what happened? I literally made sure they got their product and ghosted. I'm sorry. No follow-up, nothing. And this is what I didn't realize I was really losing from the beginning. Buyers are your warmest audience. They've already said yes to you. Without a follow-up sequence, I had no way to turn them from a buyer to a real customer with a real relationship. I didn't create a way to check in with them to see how things were going, to see if they needed additional assistance. Maybe those people that didn't buy that one-time offer needed that additional hand-holding, and I could have helped them. And maybe they would have purchased it then. I also had no way to ask for a review or encourage referrals. They could have been sharing my workbook with someone else that they knew that needed the same assistance. But I never talked to them about that. I didn't create an affiliate program because I didn't reach out to those people that had already bought. And I could have. There's more money lost on the table. And there's people who already believed in what I had to offer that could have helped me move the sales along, allowing me to help more people and make more money to feed my family. Those buyers could have become my biggest advocates, and I just let them go. Even a simple 3 to 5 emails, deliver, nurture, give them next step, ask if they need any assistance or what their biggest win was. I let that all go. You don't need to. Get that post-purchase follow-up sequence locked in before you ever launch your ads. All right, number 4. This one a lot of people skip, or some people have and don't realize they have. But if you are running ads through Meta and you already have traffic in Meta, people that are clicking on your products or engaging with your posts, that helps to create a stronger organic funnel that Meta can then use that data to help target more of the right people. Also, when you have an organic funnel that is working, people are engaging with you, they're clicking over to check out your product. You might have sold a few of your product. It's just not moving along quick enough for you. That is giving information of that traffic to Meta so they know who to run your ads to. It's also giving you information that your funnel works organically, because the strongest ads are usually the ones that can work when there's no money behind it. When the organic funnel is already working, you know that putting money behind it will make it work faster. You're not starting from scratch. So before you run ads, please make sure that your organic funnel is already working. All right, so we have the bump, and I'm not talking about a little baby bump, the one-time offer, the post-purchase follow-up sequence, the organic funnel, creating warm leads for you already. And this one I think can be kind of a bonus. I was already retargeting people who clicked through. So anyone that engaged with my organic content or click through to my website with my cart at any point, they viewed my cart, I was already retargeting them. And that was helpful because I already had some warm traffic. But what I was missing was when someone actually put a product in their cart, I never followed up with them. I didn't set up a system to capture their emails. I call it a bonus because it can help you increase your sales, but it's not something that you actually have to have in order to start running those ads. This one can absolutely help you capture more, but it's not a absolute prerequisite. If you start your ads and then work on building this in after, that's okay too. So if you have a way to capture their email before or during checkout and they don't actually fulfill the payment process, that means you're allowed to capture them and build a relationship with them and maybe even remind them of their purchase, and then they might purchase at a later point in time. I use Kit for all my emails, but you can use whatever service or software that you use. Just make sure it's connected when you go live or shortly after. So I spit out some numbers for you before, but I want to show you these graphics. So if you have 500 visitors, that equals about $470 in products that you're selling at the conversion rates that we talked about before. But if you have an order bump and a one-time offer, that could be about $629. That's a difference of $159 more per 500 visitors. If we look at 5,000 visitors, you're taking in $4,700, product only. But if you have the full one-time offer and the bump, that's $6,289. You just made $1,500 more without spending a single cent more on your ad spend or doing more work in the long run. You literally just set these two products up in the funnel. Seems like a no-brainer, right? All right, here is my big chart of numbers because I want you to realize something. The one you think might be the best is not necessarily the best. If you see there's a column with yellow at the bottom, that is a $497 one-time offer product at a 2% conversion. Now, why is it 2% conversion? Because it's a little bit higher price. So people might think about it a little bit more. But you're like, oh, but if I raise my price, that means I'll make more money. But this one actually makes less money because it's a higher price and you didn't have the value you didn't convince them that the value was worth it at that moment. So you made $5,904. But if you look at our other two options here, you have a $399 one-time offer, but that converts at 5%, giving you a total of $6,905. And that one makes you roughly the same as a $999 offer that also converts at 2%. So just because the offer dollar value is more, I just wanted to show you that doesn't mean that you'll make more. So you want to make sure that the dollar amount is correct. It is something that someone is going to pay and is willing to do it. And sometimes having a slightly lower dollar amount that will convert more often will actually be the winner. And that's what I wanted to show you here, right? So you can see product bump, what the price would be. Product bump 197 offer at 7%, 399 offer 5%, 497 offer at 2%, and 999 also at 2%. So you just need to make sure that your one-time offer and your bump make sense, that they are at the right price point. Because if you are selling a $27 workbook or a $27 PDF, we'll say, and you're going to make your one-time offer $2,999, those don't seem like the same target customer to me. And most likely, you are going to convert your one-time offer at a very, very low rate. So just keep all of this in mind. So that's what I didn't have. I didn't figure this all out prior to launching. I want you to learn from me and not have to go through what I went through. Before you run ads, make sure you have your organic funnel converting. Have a bump in place, plan out and go live with your one-time offer. Make sure it's tested and it's working. Build your follow-up sequence. It's pretty simple. I do mine in Kit. Do not let your audience go cold. Don't be a Heather. And then when you're ready to take it to the next level, add in that cart abandonment sequence. Cart abandonment. Did I say that right? Make sure you're capturing those people who were so close to buying and walked away, because they don't have to walk away forever. It's up to you to make sure they don't disappear. If you found this helpful, seriously, save this video and use it as your checklist. Watch it again before you make your ads go live. And if you're somewhere in the process right now, drop me a comment and let me know where you're at. Do you have your one-time offer ready? I'd love to see what you're building. Go ahead and message me on Instagram. I'll check it out. If you're not subscribed and you haven't clicked away yet because I'm telling you all these things to do, then go ahead and subscribe. I help you out with information like this all the time. I would love to help you build a business you can be proud of and save you from going through the mistakes that I went through. If you've been watching this thinking my organic funnel isn't converting, then you need to ask yourself if it's really the right offer for them. I'll discuss that in this video. Go ahead and click here.